All right. All right. All right.
Shalom, shalom.
Let's wait till everybody come on in. Y'all come on in. Y'all come on in. Come on in. How's everybody doing on tonight? Oh, I see y'all coming on. Y'all go
That
ahead and
part.
share this video while y'all coming jumping on. Share this video while y'all jumping on. It's good to see y'all. Good to see everybody. Y'all go ahead and hit the share button as you come on. Hit the share button as you come on, and then go ahead and say something so that we know you're here. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to everybody coming on, my kings and my queens.
Shalom.
Everybody coming on, my kings and my queens. Kings and my queens. Everybody coming on, my kings and my queens. Kings and my
Making sure I share it on all my pages.
queens. All right. Y'all go ahead and share. We on tonight, and we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna share some information, and we're gonna go home.
That part.
So how y'all doing tonight? I am so happy that y'all decided to join us again here. Prophetess Cordelia, how are we? How are we? So tonight y'all have myself and y'all have Brother Mo Adams. And we're just going to share tonight. The first couple of nights has been, oh my gosh. And y'all know me. I love to keep it transparent. I love to keep it real. But I can't keep it real with y'all if I don't keep it real with my father. And he always keeps it real. So to the most holy of the holies, Lord of lords and kings of kings, we come to decipher kings to queens tonight one more time. A topic of discussion turned conference for your educational purposes. Y'all like how I said that? I know y'all like how I said that.
No doubt.
So y'all coming in, y'all go ahead and share this. I don't share them on all my platforms. So some of y'all gonna say Facebook user. That means I may not know your name. I don't know who you are unless I see your name. And some of y'all, I'll probably see your name if you're coming from the live, from my actual Facebook page on live. So again, nonetheless, I appreciate everybody for being on. So what I'm gonna do, out of respect, as normal, is I'm gonna turn this over to the king that's on with us so that he can bring us out.
Shalom. How everybody doing tonight? How everybody doing tonight? We here to talk about the kings and the queens from every perspective, from biblically to history to straight transparent. Um, Started off with myself. I got to speak on myself as growing up as a young man, trying to be, coming to my own as being a king. Certain laws, certain rules, certain things I had to go by coming up. You know what I mean? As far as laws and rules, like it was kind of like tough coming up because we was really taught to, dominate the other sex, and that's totally what the real is, and it goes totally against, the laws of the Most High, but the laws of the world was something else. So we being transparent about this thing, get a little deeper. So if you find a little thought or a harlot or whatever you want to call it, we found them, you know what I mean, deal with them in the kind of way, not really understanding the law of the Most High, but just dealing with it, just dealing with the world itself. So as me being a young man coming into my own, you know, always grew up with the fear of the Most High, wanted to seek Him for myself. So I had to learn, while seeking Him, I was showed, opened up to many other things, showed new things. And basically, just staying on track and trying to be on key as a young man. Okay, got a little older, went to dealing with, females that was older than me. And I'm just being transparent right now, older little females, they spent a little money on me and, showed me how women wanted to be treated. Not little girls, but it was a age gap in that. While I was going through that, I got took care of. You're a young man, but you're dealing with a grown woman. It's a whole nother it's a whole nother level. You get taught different things from different women. So at the same time, like I'm saying, we're gonna get a little deep and in a little deeper. But at the same time, I was shown and groomed by older females, what females liked and what, they didn't like. But it wasn't the law of God. It was just, the law. I was just following, leaning on the flesh and doing fleshy things in the world. And, that's the way it was. But we're going to get deeper. I'm going to let the queen jump in because I want to hear her perspective of where she coming from, and we just going to do that.
So y'all know my perspective, where I'm coming from. You know what I'm saying? From kings to queens, right? So again, like you say, it's what he was taught from the women and older women growing up from a little girl all the way up. And we didn't always get to learn. We didn't, let's just say it like this. I didn't learn how to be a woman until I became a woman. Because when I was younger, I learned how to carry responsibility. I learned how to do things that older women were doing at an old age. I was doing at a young age. So you couldn't have taught me about being a queen or a king because, I grew up around my dad. My dad was a hustler. He was a hustler. He showed me exactly what a man was. His ways taught me a whole lot. His ways with my mom taught me a whole lot about a man. A whole lot about a man. Yes, and I'm not gonna. I won't dig into that. But let's just say that my dad taught me how to hustle. He taught me how to survive. He didn't necessarily teach me how to love. So the men that I met, because they neither were they taught how to be young men. They didn't teach me. They didn't show me what a man was supposed to be. I saw everything a man was not supposed to be to a woman. Seeing everything a man is not supposed to be to a woman took me into a place of not just hurt, not just pain, and not just shame, but it took me into a place of confusion, a place of lusting, a place of with soul ties. They were just soul ties. They weren't men who loved me because that's what they were supposed to do is love me. They weren't men who showed me because that's what they were supposed to do is show me. They were men who used me for what I could do. Men who used me for what I could give them. Men who used me for my nature. You understand what I'm saying? So to even say to the slightest queen, I didn't know what a queen was. I heard the name thrown around, but who was a queen? Who was a king? Because I didn't see no kings. I always thought that they were supposed to dress like queens and look like kings. That's what I always thought. But because I didn't see that, I was like, why do you keep saying we kings and we queens? We don't dress like that. We ain't got money like that. But it's our history. Our history teaches us something. Our history teaches us that was snatched away from us. And not necessarily snatched away from us because I can't go there. I was just about to do it. This live might get cut off. I can't do it. So I'm going to try to go around that. I'm going to say this. Because we didn't understand who we were. And we weren't being taught who we were. We didn't come into who we should be until later days. I know now that I'm a queen and that I've inherited a king's blessings. Lord is Lord of Lords, Kings of Kings. I'm inheriting. I'm an heir of the inheritance for kingdom. Oh, I got you, prophetess. Hey, evangelist, versatile. How you doing, Denise? So until we understand that, until we understand who we are, we didn't know that. Evangelist Dennis, how you doing? So you couldn't tell me about queen and king. You calling me a queen? Well, ain't I supposed to look like that? Ain't I supposed to dress like that? Ain't I supposed to have money and wealth like that? What is this that we what is this that we see all around us? We see desolation, oppression. We see I'm trying to stay off that. We see a nation of people where what we inherited was ripped away from us. So instead of as children, Pastor Hunt, how you doing? Instead of as children learning how to overcome these things by understanding my history, understanding where I come from, understanding that I have the right to wealthiness. I have the right to queenship. I have the right to have a king. I have the right to not be disrespected. I have a right to not be abused. I have a right. You took something from my ancestors and you hid it from me. So I grew up not knowing that I'm powerful. I grew up not knowing that I have always been a queen from birth. I grew up not knowing that my brothers were kings from birth. We didn't dress like it. We didn't talk about it. And because we didn't look like it, we kept living. And we kept living in the time that was given unto us. So from kings to queens, there wasn't no report on this is where we're supposed to be at. This is who we supposed to be. Wasn't no reports on that. Here's the sad part about it. Our own parents, they didn't even pick up the legacy of our ancestors and teach us this. You understand what I'm saying? Somebody gonna get mad at that, but it's okay because we didn't teach. We didn't teach our children how to fully. Our parents didn't teach us how to fully walk into what we already inherited. We were kings and queens from birth. Why we got to go? Why are we trying so hard to get back what was ours, what was stolen from us? Why are we trying so hard to get that back? That's why it's about to get a little bit deeper. And I'm gonna stop right there so that the king could jump in.
You're exactly right. If we go back to the forefathers and the elders that from which we came, from which we were stolen. Okay, our journey started in a place you would call Masada, 70 AD. These are facts. I'm not just giving you opinion. You go back and research it yourself. 70 AD in Masada, Jerusalem got invaded by Rome.
Mm-hmm.
We went over the Atlas Mountain into a region that you would call Africa. Now, simple and plain, I'm gonna ask yourself, if a white man looking for a white man in the black land, he ain't hard to find it. I'm gonna say that again, because that went over somebody's head. I said, if a white man looking for a white man in a black land, he's not hard to find it. Okay, so you should know who went over them Atlas Mountains and went to the African region that we call West Africa and Southern Africa, and those places like that. Now, the rights, I'm gonna keep Rome name pretty much out of our mind because they will strike the page because the Pope is on something else. But I'm gonna kick these facts, historical facts. You can go back and look at them, research, and find them for yourself. Now, this can be proven biblically and secular knowledge is in the history book. I mean, they boasted, they show it, they don't care. You know what I mean? So our people went over there over the Atlas Mountain into the Mesopotamian region that we would call today Africa. And we inhabit the west side of Africa and southern Africa. Some of us went to Ethiopia. You know what I mean? They know who we were. So we had our other brothers and cousins, and eventually switched out on us. And the Bible will tell you this. They switched out on us and told them people where we were and who we were. Because before it was anything known as a Caucasian slavery to what we would call the black man, it was the Arab slavery of the black man. And this predates the Caucasian slavery hundreds of years. I mean, I'm telling you facts, non-fiction. So they're in cahoots in keeping us from knowing who we are. Like 90% of the neighborhoods where I am, our community is ran by the Arab. Now I could go right up the street. Ain't no way Arabs told. You know what I'm saying? When it get lighter and lighter, either way, I can go east or west.
East or west.
I go east or west. And they ain't there. So they're letting me know, because some people are able to police themselves. Police don't even go out there.
Mm-hmm.
Nah. With this knowledge that I obtained through the Most High, all praise, I had to do some research on the lineage, which means physical bloodline, you know what I mean? All the way back from Adam to John the Revelator.
Right.
To see, okay, the truth is in this book. This ain't just a book of prophecies and stories and allegories. This book really has validity on your bloodline.
On your bloodline.
If you would go in it.
Correct.
But we see, Noah begot Shem and Shem begot, and then we just do away with that real quick. We go to something else you don't really want to go to. But that's really an important part of what you pass in mind.
So let's stick with the lineage of Shem, because a lot of them think we was from, again, like you say, Japheth and the other brother. So
we from Shem.
So let's stick there. Let's go there.
We are Shemites.
Shemites.
Shemites. You are from Shem. You're not from Ham. You're not from Japheth. After the deluge, the great flood. There were three brothers. There was Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their wives. Okay, now the people that are in our land claim to be Levites. Levites were the priesthood from the southern region. Moses was a Levite, Aaron was a Levite. They're the priests. So that's why when you get down to Christ, you have the Pharisees, the Sadducees, and the scribes. You understand what I'm saying? Because you got the priesthood. The southern kingdom is Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. So there you go with that. Now I start from Adam on down, like I said, and it leads to us going against the Most High, and that's how we got dispersed all over the land. Like our people everywhere. Queen, we literally everywhere. But I could prove this, what I'm saying to you, fact, nonfiction. Whether you want to be simply transparent, or we could go to the Bible and I can prove it to you. But I'm gonna let you get back in, and we'll get a little deep. But I'm gonna let you say something to the people. Because I see them wowing and wooing, but we got something for them.
No, it's okay. We having a discussion, we have a conversation. And like I told them, every night it's going to be something that we're going to learn something different. So we're not, and again, topic of discussion turned into educational purposes, educational conference. So that's pretty much what it is. And all it is getting deep. So what we don't know, if you want to ask questions while he's speaking in this area, we can do that. Don't be afraid to post your questions up there, because we can answer that. If it's something that was said that you don't quite understand, because I know this is not a normal teaching, especially if you don't actually hear the scriptures or the Bible verses. So I don't want anybody to be confused by what's being said on this live on tonight. If you want, as a matter of fact, I would just tell you to just go ahead and give them the scripture and so that and I'm not saying y'all lost. Okay, I'm just saying sometimes people have questions. I want nobody to think I'm saying they lost.
We froze, Queen. We froze. But I can still hear you speaking. Yeah, but I can still hear you speaking.
I'm looking at Facebook. We ain't froze yet.
I'm froze.
Where we froze?
I'm froze. But I can hear you speak.
Oh, I was going to say, you're not froze to me.
Oh, okay. I'm froze on my side.
Oh, okay.
But it's still all good. I can hear you speak.
Okay, you still on. We can still see you on Facebook.
Okay.
So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the lineage, like of how all this came about, because a lot of us don't know our history, and a lot of us don't understand the true purpose behind of king and and queen. And as I stated before, this wasn't something that was this ain't our history, ain't being taught like it's supposed to be taught. I'm trying to stay away from getting kicked off of Facebook. That's what I'm trying to stay away from.
Yeah, you will get struck, Queen. Please keep it.
Because I get real passionate about this, because what we learned to keep us from understanding who we really and truly were, what we learned was
a systematic plan against us.
Not only systematic, but we learned about others that were in power, those who are not our color, in power,
right?
But a stolen power.
Correct.
Lord, they're gonna kick me out. Jesus.
Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 28 and 64. If they want to go to that and read it.
Huh?
If they want to go to Deuteronomy 28 and 64, it'll clarify, a couple things for them.
28 and 64.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all can go to Deuteronomy 28 and 64. But again, we're gonna keep it transparent. We ain't gonna go all off the books or nothing like that, because I ain't never been kicked off Facebook, and I don't want to really get kicked off of Facebook. But I'm just gonna say this: we have to understand where we come from. We have to understand our lineage, our heritage, who we truly were called to be, and not not by man's way of this world, but biblically. We were kings and queens. So where did we lose that at? Entangled, encaptured, captivity, told what we weren't when we was, placed where they wanted us to be at, but not where we was from. Mindset swiped or wiped clean of who we truly knew we were. But we had some ancestors that stood up for that. I'm just saying. God doggone it. We're gonna get kicked off. We're gonna get kicked off more. We're gonna get kicked off. Lord have mercy.
Marcus Garvey, Nat Turner, on and on.
Mm-hmm. Powerful.
Yeah, I could
Trying.
keep naming names, but no, I ain't trying to get us kicked.
All right, so we got okay. So this what so let's stick with transparency and spin it that way.
That part.
Because, I mean, because and it's hard not to go there, y'all. And yeah, I am trying because again, I don't want this live to be taken down because of the truth coming through and the realness and the transparency. But I do want to say that from fathers to sons, from mothers to daughters, there's a work that needs to be done. And it should have started some time ago. But I also understand that when you come into knowing, when you come into the knowing, like when you finally realize who you are, you can actually be who you are. You'll start doing things different. You'll start dressing the part. You'll start talking the part. You'll start looking the part. You'll start, your conversation will even be different because you understand who you are. You understand where you come from. Ain't nothing like understanding your lineage, your history, your heritage, your culture. Ain't nothing like understanding that. That way you can stand up and you won't be bamboozled and hoodwinked in anything that somebody bring to you. And I guess that's why they got that stay woke. Stay woke. It just basically means you staying woke for the things that are happening out here, especially when we're dealing with, Lord Jesus, racism and social things, injustice and all that type of stuff. So that's what woke means. And I told y'all, when you finally wake up biblically, didn't Jesus tell Peter and all them to wake up? Didn't he tell them to stay woke? In the garden of what it is, Gethsemane?
The Mount of Olives.
Didn't he tell them to stay woke? He told them to stay woke. Because what's to come, he said, what's to come, y'all gonna need to know how to handle. I'm paraphrasing y'all. Something about to come. When I leave here, something coming. And you're gonna need to understand. But if you don't stay woke, if you don't wake up now, if you couldn't stay woke to let me go pray for an hour, how you gonna stay woke when trials and tribulations come to overthrow you? See, we was asleep. Somebody was asleep back then. And they forgot to stay woke. So it didn't get to it didn't get to our parents' generations to come in there. So let me tell you what generation is speaking more on history right now. Our grandparents and great grandparents are speaking today because we are bringing it to them and asking questions. They're breaking their silence. They're giving us the stories now, but we're at the forefront to start this. We're starting this. We're the ones that need to understand where we came from. We're the ones that need to understand what happened. We need to understand why is the women out here that was called to be queens looking like concubines and prostitutes. We need to understand why they saying us niggas looking like pimps and stuff like that, but we supposed to be kings, making that money, not selling dope and stuff like that. But now we out there in the streets trying to come up some territory, but you get the territory wrong. You've been a king. You've been a king. You ain't got to fight for territory that's yours.
From the start.
It's always been ours.
From the start.
We just need to start snatching it back and teaching our children not to settle for less. If we raise our children up the way they're supposed to be raised up, they'll raise their children up. But it's sad today that even that because we didn't get the teaching that we needed, that we were supposed to get, we couldn't raise our children that way. So we made some mistakes. And all of it's based off of not having all of this is based off lack of knowledge.
Our people perish from a lack of knowledge, Queen.
You can't do what you don't know. You can't be who you don't know. If you ain't never tell me that I'm a queen, you're gonna see what you see there. I know I'm one now, but But where was all this about my worth some time ago when my worth was important then too? It was important then too. It had to be important for you to tell me to wake up and stay woke for you to start to giving me my history. You're giving it to me now. So it had to be important then.
It was.
It's just we too
Still
far
is.
gone now. We too far, we so far gone now into what the world painted us to be, who they painted us to be, what they took from us and never revealed. And it wasn't. I can't say that either. Go ahead,
No.
King. I can't say it either.
Sometimes you can see me. I can't. I'm still froze on my end. But sometimes, the teacher needs to be taught. And so when it came time for that, we just basically didn't have the information. All the people that had the information was afraid to disperse it because they was afraid, they would be martyrs like the disciples. They was gonna be killed for that information. Like things we talk about right now, like I mentioned Masada and stuff, you couldn't speak of that, back then. They would have, did something with you real quick. You know what I mean? When I was
Mm-hmm.
growing up, I was taught that I was a Gentile. That's so
Mm-hmm.
I got proof to prove that. The Bible proved that. Talking about I'm from the tribe of Judah. You know what I mean? I'm from the tribe of Judah. I trace back the lineage, looked at the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom, find out, okay, Assyria, they put them, under bondage first and they came over here. So that's why when we look, we see, Native Americans and Puerto Ricans and stuff was over here before we actually came in the 1600s. They were in the 12 and 1300s, you know. The Puerto Rican killed down to 100 and something thousand man child when there was 300,000 plus. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm keep it on the edge so you don't really, but the people that say they know they ain't up. You know what I mean? They know who we is. We just don't know who we is. Historically, biblically, in a respectful way, because I'm gonna say that in a respectful way. A lot of people, I raised up in a Christian church, Pentecostal, and they only could teach me what they knew. I knew the Spirit was with them, but you got to serve the Most High in spirit and truth. So I had to find out what the truth was.
Hmm.
Yeah, they say if you're gonna serve him, you got to serve him in spirit and truth. So I know their spirit was there, Queen, but the truth, the knowledge of the truth, did they have it? No, they didn't. I mean, most of them couldn't read or write. It was forbidden for us to read and write, and that was for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we ever came to the knowledge of truth, we would raise up, and everybody would follow us if we raise up. You see the little George Floyd thing, and I ain't gonna get too deep with that. The world was watching that, Queen. You understand what I'm saying?
The world.
The world. See, I'm gonna give you some more news. Right now, they pushing the agenda, the anti don't hate the Chinese man agenda, Asian people.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to my people? When we been oppressed, I ain't saying oppress no people, but I mean for the people that been oppressed, because I could feel for anybody that's being oppressed. Don't get it twisted. But what about the people that been oppressed? What about the people that didn't ask to come over here that was forcibly brought over here? And if you go back to the movie Root, you'll see Kunta do something to the food. You know what I'm saying? You'll see him throw down a piece of food and just eat beans. You know what I'm talking about? But it get deep. But you could go in the book because the Bible is a history book too, as well. It has your history in it, and a lot of us that's where we get shook. They think is it's stories about other people instead of our people. And I find out in Psalms 82, Psalms 83, um, Revelations 3 and 9, Revelations 2 and 9. I mean, biblically, I could back it up scripture for scripture, but we just keeping it transparent. To be a child of the Most High God or prince of the Most High Power, that's what Israel means. The name Israel. It means Prince of the Most High God. So if people hear the word Israel, I wonder why Jacob's name was changed to Israel. That means Prince of the Most High God. Because I studied the ancient Phoenician Hebrew too. That's Hebrew, and it comes all the way from the Tower of Babel. You got to go back to understand how you got to understand your past to deal with your present and your future.
Right.
And I was always pushed and told, hey man, that's the old Testament, that's done away with, yada yada yada. And I was always wondering, why you trying to only deal with half of the book when this half of the book telling me, okay, this is how these people started, this is the people that God chose for himself. So why wouldn't I want to learn about these people? Now you got one people saying they the people, and this is 1940. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they giving this part of the land, but they beefing with some other people that know they ain't the people. See, I might be getting a little too political right now. And it's going on right now in your news. You feel me? These people beefing with these people because they know they ain't the people that's supposed to be them. But to us, they'll put like, hey man, these people terrorists, they yada yada yada, they yada yada yada. Now these people know the truth. And we ain't came to the knowledge of the truth yet. Now, if me and you go to the East Queen, the people won't have no problem calling you a daughter of Sarah because they know who you is. We don't know who we is, you know what I mean? And that's part of the major problem, the lineage. People won't research the lineage, meaning down from David, Solomon, all that. Aminadab, I could call names and names of people, but would people know who I'm talking about? If they ain't studied, you know what I mean, outside the box that they were supposed to be put in. Because they placed us in a box and put snares. The enemy put snares and tricks. So if you ever was to jump out the box and into the circle, it's a snare there too. But guess what? The Most High made it so you'll be able to see it if that's what you're looking for. I'm gonna let you talk to him, Queen.
Well, we did get a little deep.
I mean, yeah, we can go there. We can go there.
We may not can go there tonight. We lost a whole lot of viewers because we got a little deep. So
right.
And listen, we're talking about from kings to queens.
Correct.
You can't just be on the top surface and not scrape that bottom.
Gotcha.
You can't, it's not what you just see now. There's history. There's history. And I just feel that sometimes we just need to know. I feel like I need to know my history.
Right.
And I read so much, and a whole lot of stuff. I mean, especially into the history. I mean, if I could pull some stuff out too, but
I
I'm
know you
sure
can. I know you can, Queen, but
we'll
don't
probably
get your
get kicked
favorite
off.
shot down. Don't do that.
But we said what we needed to say
Correct.
for tonight. And I don't know if y'all was just listening or y'all didn't have no questions, but what I can't do is apologize for understanding who you are and where you come from and why we are the way we are today. It doesn't matter how we feel about this. So if something was stole from us,
Correct.
history was one of them. It was stole from us. Biblically, the Bible is giving us what we need and showing us what we need. But sometimes a lot of us a little bit too deep to even understand parts of it, or not deep enough. And that's neither here or there, because it's out of respect. It's out of respect. Somebody said don't apologize for the truth. No, we ain't gonna apologize for the truth. I definitely can't apologize for the truth. Again, my platform is about being truthful, straight transparency, and being real. And I happen to know that Brother Mo Adams, he just come with it. He just bring it real. And biblically, he don't. I've seen where we can back it up. So we're gonna end it right here tonight. And say that we really do appreciate y'all being on. But tomorrow night, I got another brother and sister coming on. It may get even more deeper, you know, because my only thing is to make sure that we are educated in who we are, so that we'll know where we're going, so that we'll know what we're supposed to be doing, so that God calling us to a place. But how can you truly understand who God is and the history there if you never understand who you are? He ain't white.
Clearly.
And I probably shouldn't have said that. Lord have mercy.
I mean, if you read Revelations, he give you a description. Why you think he describe himself to you?
Yeah.
I don't know,
So we'll be back tomorrow night with more. We'll be back tomorrow night with more. I don't know why I got so quiet tonight. I really don't. But
Hey,
we'll
man, when you go to talking about subject matters that the
and
elephant
I got to keep it real though. I got to keep it real.
see
It's like poof, be gone.
the
So,
elephant in the room.
but it's all good. It's all good. It's all good for tonight. We'll come back tomorrow night for another night of Friday Straight Transparency topic of discussion turned conference. And if y'all have questions from tonight, y'all can ask them tomorrow. If it's something that y'all don't understand, hit them on his inbox. Hit me in the inbox.
You get anytime.
What if you have any questions about it? So again, you're right, Sarah. We're not going to apologize for giving the truth, but stay tuned, y'all. There's more to come. There's more to come. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. I love y'all as normal, and we finna be out. Peace.
Shalom, Queen.
You stay on.